Hey guys, welcome to the first video in a series of Blender modeling tutorials. It's going to be 10 videos on 10 different models getting progressively harder. First of all, we're going to start off with a wine glass. Start nice and simple. So here's just our default cube. We're going to press X to delete this and press Shift and A. This brings up our add menu where we just literally add things to the world. We're going to use a circle for this model. Here you see vertices is 32. That's points around the circle. We're going to change this to 16. It's just easier to work with. 32 is quite unnecessary for what we're making. So we're going to press 3 on our number pad to go into side view, and then 5 on the number pad to go into orthographic view. This is the view I use most of the time for my modeling. So we're going to hit tab to go into edit mode. This is where we do most of the work. And we're going to think about how a wine glass looks from the side on. If you really want, you can use a reference image or just memory. I'm sure you can remember what a wine glass looks like. So with this selected, we press E to extrude. Now we can drag it up, and as you can see, we're dragging it all over the place. If we press Z, constrains it to the Z axis. So we're only going to get upwards and downwards movement, no sideways, which is exactly what we want. So thinking about how that is, we're going to use S to scale it in, and then just move the mouse. As you can see, it makes the whole circle smaller. It's starting to make our wine glass. Press 3 to go back into edit mode. Into side view. So you press E to extrude, always again along the Z axis, and scale it in. E to extrude, Z, S to scale, move the mouse in, click. E to extrude, Z, scale the mouse in, click. We're just repeating this over and over again, thinking about how a wine glass looks. Now say I want this to be a little further down, I can use G to grab. Again, along the Z axis, let's move it down a little bit. And if I want to make this a little bit bigger, just press S, extrude, Z, extrude, Z, extrude, Z. Now I want to go back and edit one that's not selected. To select a whole loop, you hold Alt and right click. And now we can just scale this up. Alt, click, scale this up. Alt, click, scale this up. Now you notice the base is quite a bit bigger than the actual glass, so I'm just going to scale this down. So, quite tall for a wine glass, but we can do some more tweaking later. So we're just going to press 0 on our number pad to go into camera view. This is what we'll see when we render it. So we're just going to move this whole thing. We're just going to press tab to go back into object mode, and then we're just clicking these to move it along the corresponding axis. This Y and this is X. Okay, so it's kind of in position. Just hit F12 to render it. Okay, and there's our wine glass. A couple of problems. First of all, it's way too tall. So we're going to press tab to go back into edit mode. 3 to go back into orthographic. You might find that it's off the screen, so if you hold shift, press down your mouse wheel, you can move around. Then we use something called a box select. Press B for box select, and now you can just click and drag over the whole thing and just grab that up. Now you notice it's only selected the parts that we can actually see. It's not selected these parts, which is not what we want. So down here, there's a button that's called Limit Selection to Visible. I'm going to tick that off. It might be already ticked off on yours, it might be ticked on. It's just worth checking. Then we do that again, and it selected the whole thing. 3 to go back into side. Grab Z along the Z axis. Just grab that, scale it down a little bit. Press F12 again. Okay, it's getting there, that's good. I think this is a little big, this base. So we can scale this in as well. And that correspond. And you can tweak it all you like. And you can scale these in, scale these out, do whatever you like. Okay, so we've got our basic shape, and now we're going to add a modifier. These are really, really powerful. Basically, all do different things. The one we're going to use is subdivision surface, generally called subsurf for short. So click that. And if we press tab to go back to object mode, you see it's smoothed out our model. What it's done is all these faces, it's cut them down See, it's cut each one in half because we've got one cut. If you go 2 cuts, it'll cut them into quarters. And 3 cuts, 4 cuts, you can have as many as you want. Generally 2 or 3 is fine. Just be warned that it shows 2 in the render and 1 in the view. With small models you find having 2 in the view as well, so you can get an accurate view of what it'll look like. So that's looking a lot better, but it's still a little bit blocky, as you can see. So we're going to do something called set smooth. The shading at the moment is set to flat objects. If we set it for smooth shading, press F12 again, you notice it's smoothed out the whole object. But we do have these nasty black, sometimes white, depending on the angle, lines. It's really not nice. So the thing we're going to do for this, and my phone is ringing, it's quite annoying. Press Control and N. N is for normals, and we'll cover exactly what they are later. Just know that Control N fixes this problem. And then we'll go into object mode, and there we go. I'm just going to do another little tweak. I'm going to press R, Control and R, sorry, to add a loop cut. What this does is add another point of control. We can scale it. Oh god, they're trying my home phone now. Great. So we're just going to add one here and scale this top in a little bit just to give it like a curve along the top of the glass, just a little more glass shaped. Cool. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're not going to cover materials in this tutorial. Any questions, comments, anything you'd like to see, any other techniques you'd like to be covered, feel free to ask in the comments, or send me a mail on YouTube, that's fine. I'm just going to add one final tweak that I've just noticed. I'm just going to pause the video and answer my phone because they won't give up. So I'm just going to add a bit of an inside to the glass as well. So extrude this down. Remember Z to constrain the axes. And I press Z to go into wireframe mode. And just down, 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 down. Things like this are really important if you use in like a glass material. Just a quick technique I use there, I'll just show you. I pressed E to extrude, and then I right clicked, which it looks like it's cancelled it, but it's actually made a copy of these vertices here, so then I can scale in just to get this kind of flat effect here that you're seeing. And just to close this hole, if you press W, this brings up your specials. You can just edit vertices with this menu, it's quite useful. Is merge at center, and it just merges all those together. Closes up our glass. Let's give it a bit of a better look. There you can see the proper inside. So I think that's us for today, guys. Catch me in the next video where we'll be modeling a drinks can.